Hello, this is James Reese, and welcome to another edition of Razor Wire. It's a beautiful day outside. We've just had a bank holiday weekend in the UK. Normally, this would be a coffee with Jim, but it's already drunk the coffee and it's way too hot to have another one, so there's going to be no more coffee for this one. Right, so what are we here to talk to you guys about today? Well, we've had a lot of new followers. Thank you ever so much for everybody who's signed up to follow the videos. It's great to see some great feedback. We've had some lovely comments sent via email, that kind of thing. So I just want to thank you all for joining. That's the first topic. Second topic is, again, I want to talk about ransomware. Specifically, we've been covering a lot of the Colonial Pipeline issues, the CNA reinsurance issues, and various other different companies that have been hit recently with this very much this type of attack. What we're looking at now is there's an increasing rhetoric that's being debated on the internet at the moment as to whether or not it should be made illegal for companies to pay the ransom that ransomware companies give them for decrypting and not making public data that they've managed to exfiltrate out of people's compromised networks. Bit of an interesting one, this. Where do we begin? So let's kind of start with the criminal organisation. These organisations, and they are organisations really in many respects. I mean, they might not have a limited company or anything like that, but they are very well established, very well run machines for generating profit in the form of ransomware that they infect companies with. Exfiltrate out their data. They'll say, pay us, otherwise we'll make it public. Oh, and if you also want the decryption key, that's part of the payment. That's a business model that they've been following now for quite a while. And that changed a couple of years back. I mean, originally ransomware just encrypted your data and you had to pay for the decryption key to decrypt it. And then eventually they realized that they could definitely get more likely a payment if they threatened to make that data public. And that was a business decision by them. And as we've seen, some of these organizations who will remain very nameless for obvious reasons, they almost have a bit of a code of conduct. Some of them have published that, they don't do healthcare companies. They don't do hospitals. They don't do schools, that kind of thing. Anywhere where maybe sort of COVID vaccinations are being facilitated as a large part of their business. They have a certain level of morality there for that kind of thing, but then it all goes to pot. When you look at how, for instance, a ransomware gang went and did, who was it? It was the Irish Health Authority. They gave them the decryption key for their data for free, but they still said, pay up or we'll make all of we'll air your dirty laundry online. They don't want the focus of government organisations on them. I think they kind of dropped the ball a bit with the Colonial Pipeline, but at the end of the day, as some of them have said, we're not here to cause problems, we're here to make money. And they are a money-making organisation, albeit a criminal one. They have a great deal of push, they have a great deal of talent. People working for their organisation are no doubt very, very well paid, especially if you've just gotten a £40 million payout. But what you have to understand is these guys are skirting on the wrong side of the law, so they will spend quite a chunk of money protecting themselves from being infiltrated by other gangs, from being infiltrated by government organisations, state-sponsored hackers, or being caught, by people who are looking for them out in the commercial world. They are their own business, and it's a very lucrative business. If it wasn't lucrative, then they wouldn't be doing it, and the fine, the ransoms they're asking for wouldn't be higher. it's quite interesting that quite often it's been proven that they will look at the books on things like Companies House or any kind of organization that tracks the profitability of the company, and they will try to establish, a reasonable ransom in their view. To quote a film, it's an amount of money which is just enough uncomfortable to make everybody feel comfortable. I'm sure you probably get the reference if you like crime films. But it's very true. Where do we go with this? Organizations are going to get compromised all the time. There's a lot of organizations they're coming out of the pandemic who haven't had a chance to review their security. Things have changed quite exponentially in the way that we work and operate as an organization across the world. Organizations across the world are having that same problem. More people are working from home. That looks like that's going to be an ongoing thing, which opens up the door to all kinds of new possibilities. And we need to, as you probably heard me harp on about quite a bit, spend a lot of time reviewing our security and upgrading it for the modern world and the modern working world and where we're going from here. Security needs to evolve. If you're relying on security that's, say, 5 or 10 years old in its modeling, you're going to be well behind the curve, and you are going to probably wind up having some kind of security event. You need to fund security, cyber security, information security, however you want to term it, every bit as well as you can to prevent you from having an event whereby you're paying out 10 million, 20 million, 40 million, 5 million, $500,000, whatever it may well be. And if you were to spend that in the first place, or even sort of half of that, or even a quarter of what you could perceive as your ransom note going to be on security, then that's a really good way of preventing you from getting into that situation in the first place. These criminal organizations who are doing this are sophisticated. They know what they're doing. They're well funded, obviously. Enough people now have paid their ransom that these well-known big groups will continue to do that because that's a quick and easy way to make money. Well, it's a quick way to make money. I wouldn't say necessarily it's an easy way. And many of them are very, very good at hiding their tracks. Now, some people will get caught and all the rest of it. It's inevitable that some people are going to get put on the dock for this type of thing. But it won't be the good people who are good at doing what they do. Those people will melt into the distance like the sun at dawn. Or is it twilight? Twilight. Otherwise, the sun's coming up. You know what I mean? Anyway. Should it be made illegal? I don't see how you can. Because it's not exactly something you're going to declare, is it? If you've been compromised by ransomware and you're an organization who can afford the ransom and quickly recover and not have your dirty laundry aired, especially if you're a legal firm, who are really, really at risk of this kind of thing because they hold all kinds of information, court case information on what their customers have been up to, the type of stuff. Then, you're going to likely pay the ransom in order to recover and not have your dirty laundry aired. So you are funding the criminal organisations, which is bad because it means they will develop more sophisticated attacks. They'll get more talented developers. They'll buy in talent. They'll buy in kit. They'll buy in software from the dark web to be able to make their attacks more sophisticated, more efficient, more effective. And all you're doing is you're going to make the situation worse. But then if you don't pay, that's your business dead, gone. Any trust your customers will have in you will dissipate overnight. And if you're then kind of on the peg for if somebody discovers that you paid the ransom for potential legal action, then your company is definitely dead. Not just your company, but your board of directors and the people who are at the top could be facing jail time for trying to protect, their interests, their staff, and their organisation, a commercial organisation or whoever, from going under. We've seen, an insurance company who gives out ransomware insurance getting done by ransomware, which is kind of ironic, really. But I think this just shows, as these attacks get more sophisticated, as things get tougher, this debate is going to keep coming back until something occurs. And either they're going to make it illegal, in which case businesses are going to go under the radar, paying off the fines or whatever, or you're going to start to see people being put, in the dock for paying a ransom because they just want their business to survive. Is it right? Is it wrong? There's a lot of back and forth there, seemingly, with the debate. Where do I stand? I just don't know at the moment. I can see it from the perspective of a business owner. You want to protect your business, you want to protect your staff, you want to protect your profitability. And if it means paying out some money, you don't necessarily want to pay out, because nobody wants to pay a ransom. To protect the overall, for the greater good of you, your organisation, and your staff, then of course you're going to pay it. You're going to seriously going to think about paying it. I mean, if you don't care, then okay, fair enough, you're not going to pay it. Or if you have a policy of no, we can recover, and be damned, if our data gets put out there, there's nothing there that's gonna be too damaging, then you won't pay it. But then if you're a firm who deals with dicey issues and items and keeps this kind of data stored hopefully securely away, then that rhetoric changes again. I think my answer to this is going to be a very boring one in many respects, because it's something that you've heard from time to time from me. In fact, from most of the videos that I've done this on. If you're an organisation who wants to protect themselves from ransomware, then take security seriously. Get an information security professional on board, or engage the services of information security company to come and help you out. Don't skimp on security. As I keep saying, security does not need to be expensive. It just needs to be effective. And not only that, remember, the first rule of business is protect your investment. So in order to protect your investment, you need to spend out on security. Be wary, or be very wary, that's something else. Be very wary about vendors. They will tell you their software solution will save you from the earth burning to a cinder in a solar flare if they think they can get a sale out of it. This is why, you need to be very, very careful what you buy in. That's why you need the InfoSec professional, the best one you can afford, or an organisation who can help you. Because it's in their interest to help secure you and help you make the good decisions on your information security spend. Layering the right types of technology, the right security awareness programs, the training, the policies, the procedures, being there to deal with incidents as they happen, planning for certain specific types of incidents that are popular. That's what InfoSec people such as myself and my team, and hopefully some of you who are watching this video, are there to do. And if you're an information security professional who's been asked and tasked to do this, I would firmly recommend you start from the ground up. Look objectively at your organization. Have that pen test, have that set of vulnerability scans of the environment. Look objectively at what you have cybersecurity wise, from a software solution wise to protect your environment, and look at the reality of the business that you're working in at the moment. If you're an organization that was very, very central to begin with and has now become very much decentralized, and the management have decided to reduce the size of their offices and let people predominantly work from home, then you need to have a real serious think about your environment and make sure that you amend your security posture to cater for that type of infrastructure and the type of world that you're now doing business in, and that you're securing as that information security professional. If you're a C-level executive watching this, then sit down and talk objectively with your information security people about what you can do to secure your environment from things like ransomware, which is extremely popular at the moment. Phishing is another one that's extremely popular. But don't just look at those. Look at your overall security. Make sure you have the policies, the processes. Make sure you have the awareness programs. Make sure you have that security software. Update it all. Make sure you're not running anything too old. Look at your infrastructure. Make sure that your operating systems are up to date. Make sure they're patched. All the good stuff that you will hear a lot of IT and InfoSec people say, you need to really sit down and have a look at. Now, if you are doing it, fantastic. That's a tick in the box. That's a tick in the box of, right, we are patching. We are, we do have good current endpoint security that's regularly checked. The logs are checked, alerts are checked. We know that all the software works and all the infrastructure that we have, that it's running, and that it's doing what it needs to do, and nobody's gone and disabled it, that kind of thing. We've got two-factor authentication, so on and so forth, encrypted data storage areas, with key pairs that are stored elsewhere, or master keys that are stored elsewhere, good crypto periods. If anything, take a leaf out of sort of the book of PCI, where there's a good set of standard baselines for cyber security, file integrity monitoring, some kind of SIEM solutions, and regular checks of your logs. Okay, a SIEM isn't part of the requirements, but let's face it, if you've got a decent sized environment and you're generating a lot of logs, you probably need something to help you filter out the rubbish and actually concentrate on what you need. You need to do all of this, and you need to do it now. You could wait and do it in 6 months' time. You could wait and do it in a year's time. But let's face it, large chunks of the world are starting now to go back to, dare I say it, normal. I don't think anything will be normal for a good long time. But we are getting back to work. We need to make sure that we do this. We need to sort this out. When it comes to governments, I don't know. Maybe you need to buff up your intelligence services to be able to cater for this. You could report a ransomware attack to the police or to the ICO or whatever, but what is there out there to help people? Short of going to commercial firms such as my own, there is advisories out there, but they need to be seriously updated. You need to have a task force that's helping find and make life for these people very, very difficult. And if you are doing it, well, it's still happening. There's a lot of it. It's getting worse. Maybe we need to start funding in that direction. Cybersecurity is a hot topic at the moment. It's going to get more important as time goes on. We need to start taking things seriously at all levels, be it right at the top at the government level, all the way through to kind of commercial C-level executives, all the way down to the average worker who's just doing their work day to day. We all need to understand what security is, how to be secure, how to work securely, in a method that allows us to do what we need to do and doesn't put us at any large degree of risk. Do I have a golden bullet? No, I don't. But we need to start taking this seriously. We need to do something because no one else is going to. And this is just going to get worse before it gets any better. Okay. That's my take on it. Again, thanks to all the new followers. Thanks to all the people who've been watching these videos and posting comments or emailing us comments. We get far more sort of comments via email and LinkedIn than necessarily we do on comments on the videos. Please feel free, if you're a first-time viewer, to look through the other videos that we've done. We've got a good plethora. We've got even more coming. Things have slowed down a little bit because we just all wanted to kind of get back into work. But there'll be a lot more interviews coming. There's going to be some spotlight on technology videos, looking at different types of cybersecurity technology and what's out there at the moment, what's good, what's bad, what the trends are, that kind of thing. So please subscribe. Feel free to click a like, the notification button to let you know when new videos are coming up. It's great for the algorithm, gets us out there. It'll be fantastic if you want us to cover anything or you've got any questions. In the description, you'll see ways to contact us and let us know what you need, what you want to see on the channel. And it's great to get that kind of feedback. So look after yourselves, have a great time, and speak to you soon. Goodbye.